been training this for over 14 years.
He said it clears my mind. It clears the space in my computer.
Every day, I just run every day. I run like the wind.
His hands are like his fist blade, so he is literally feeling the wind.
I'm doing this run from Perth to Canberra. I'm doing it for mental health at Autism Awareness.
And he said, well, someone has to put it out there, and I can. Dane, I see, is actually a voice for quite often the voiceless.
It's going to take me 3 months and it's 4,000 kilometres. I run 50 kilometres a day.
For 14 years, Dane Waites has been training to run across Australia from the West Coast to the East Coast. It's a dream that began after he won a bronze medal for Australia at the 2003 Special Olympics. Now it's about to happen, a 4,000 kilometre run to raise funds to support people with autism and with mental illness. Dane Waites inspires others by his determination to have a good life while living with classic autism.
He hadn't spoken till he was 6 years of age. He lived in his own world. We were told to place him in an institution on 3 occasions. My husband and I would say to each other, if we could just allow him to enter our world.
Junie and Rod Waites rejected advice to institutionalise their son. Meanwhile, Dane developed a passion for running.
It meant that we lost him on a regular basis. He would be with us 1 minute and dashed off the next. And Rod and I felt like we were the most irresponsible parents that were ever born, because how could we lose our son so often? Because he actually did just keep running. And once he started, there was no stopping him.
When Dane was 18, the family moved from Melbourne to the Bega Valley, where the builder of their new farmhouse turned out to be a sportsman who trained Dane to enter the City to Surf race in Sydney.
And then there was no stopping him. That's when he realised you actually can go into running as a, real thing. And he loved it.
Special Olympics, Sydney 2002, Special Olympics World Games in Ireland, Melbourne Marathon.
But it hasn't been an easy journey.
I have good days and I do have some bad days. That's the Black Pit, and there's a ladder in there and I climb out of the ladder there.
Being happy is his greatest achievement. He has the ability to make such a cross-section of individuals feel good about themselves simply by his presence.
I call the member for Bega and Minister for Transport.
It's with great honour I rise this evening to talk about Dane Waites, who is a young fellow from the far south coast living with autism, who had an incredible aspiration. He's got an incredibly special mother in Junie. Dane is an elite athlete, and he's currently running across Australia from Perth to his hometown of Canberra. And he, of course, is someone who, through his athletic ability, has represented Australia at the Special Olympics. Obviously, met the challenges head on when it comes to learning to talk and communicate, recognise emotions, and of course make lifelong friendships. It was not uncommon in the lead up to him embarking on this amazing journey across Australia in recent months that you would quite often see Dane pounding away day by day, running anywhere from 30 to 50 kilometres per day, 6 days a week, having competed in the Special Olympics in training for his incredible passion and his aspiration to run across Australia. Of course, he did take Fridays off to go dancing, of course, which is another one of Dane's incredible passions. He's running in the order of 4,000 kilometres over a 3-month period, with his primary focus to raise awareness and, of course, also raise some dollars along the way. He's donating the funds as a result of his amazing journey to run from Perth to Pambula, including Autism Spectrum Australia, Beyond Blue and Autism CRC. He departed Belmont, Western Australia on the 18th of June with his beautiful mother Junie and his incredible support team. And they've now spent 13 weeks on the move, running across the Nullarbor Plains, across South Australia. And very pleasingly, he'll be touching down in Pambula in the next week or so. I think it's fair to say the beauty of Facebook in this instance is that he's constantly there highlighting his adventures and the people that he's met along the way. And the course of this journey, he's on many occasions been on Facebook talking about the many humble Australians who've been giving him care and support as he embarks on this journey. Dane's dream, Perth to Pambula, was created with his late father 14 years ago. And to think that a person with disabilities can achieve this is something which he should be very proud of. Dane is an incredible person, an incredible community champion. He's a person who this entire country can be incredibly proud of.
So while Dane trained by running 6 days a week for 14 years, there were many people working behind the scenes to make Dane's dream a reality. A planning team was created that dealt with the logistics of this major event. Logistics such as risk assessment, legal issues, road safety, support vehicles, sponsorships, fundraisers and route taken, all of which had to be nutted out. Plus, Dane needed drivers and supporters along the way. The planning committee had to work out where the team would stay each day, include rest days for Dane, and work out the supplies needed for overnight stays in bush camps. Dane's dream became a reality when 2 local Eden businesses came on board. Con Zirkus from Eden Toyota donated a brand new Toyota Hilux, and the Hammond family from ARV Caravans Eden donated a Winnebago. Friends from Geraldton donated a camper trailer for extra accommodation along the way. The names of the various sponsors were displayed on the sides and back of the Winnebago. Several local businesses supported Dane's dream by participating in fundraising events, such as this auction at Oaklands, which enabled the team to make plans to head west to Perth and begin fulfilling Dane's dream. The beautiful city of Perth on the banks of the Swan River is the 4th largest city in Australia with more than 2 million people. June the 18th has finally arrived. The vehicles are ready, the route out of the city has been organised, and after 14 years of planning, everything is in place for Dane to begin his run to Pambula, more than 4,000 kilometres east of here. Dane's journey begins with a very generous donation of $7,000 by the Rotary Club of Belmont. For road safety reasons, the team is not permitted to travel on the large expressways leaving the city. Instead, they had to plan a safer, longer route for Dane to run. The length of a marathon is 26 miles, or 42.19 kilometres, which, in ancient Greece, was the distance from Marathon to Athens. It takes 14 days to reach the gold mining town of Kalgoorlie, and during this time Dane has completed 12 marathons. The architecture in Kalgoorlie reflects the rich gold rush days of the 1890s. Kalgoorlie is famous for the huge gold mine known as the Super Pit, which is so large it can actually be seen from outer space. The team will now be travelling through the rich goldfields district of Western Australia. Norseman marks the beginning of a 1,200 kilometre stretch of highway to Ceduna in South Australia. From here, the team is about to cross the Nullarbor at 50 kilometres a day. It will involve at least 10 bush camps, and food and water will have to be carefully planned for this stage of the journey, as the roadhouses along the way are up to 200 kilometres apart. Dane had good days and bad days where the black dog of depression would be biting at his heels. This is where the truckies would come to the rescue.
Go Dane!
To the truckies, Dane became known as Forrest. On Dane's bad days, Junie would contact the truckies on the CB radio and ask if they could give Forrest a toot to cheer him along. Dane's stint on the road would not always finish at a safe or appropriate spot along the highway. During these times, Dane would need to hop on board until the team reached a suitable location for an overnight stay. In July, the Nullarbor has overnight temperatures of up to -2. Gathering wood is a priority. The fires are not only essential for warmth and cooking, but also provide good fellowship opportunities. It takes 20 days to cross the Nullarbor, with frequent bush camps between the roadhouses marked in bold print on the screen. It's at these roadhouses that the team can freshen up and restock their supplies before moving on. The endless straight lines of the Nullarbor put Dane's autistic mind at ease. Each day, Dane would run his 50 kilometres, stop in the middle of the road and look behind him and see nothing but straight lines, then turn around and see more straight lines straight ahead. This will be remembered as one of his most favourite experiences of the whole trip. Junie celebrates her birthday on the Nullarbor and receives her birthday cake at the Kaiguna Roadhouse.
See you in Kaiguna!
Each roadhouse provides fuel, food, motel and budget rooms, showers and campsite facilities. At Madura, the highway drops down an escarpment to Roe Plain. After Eucla, on the border of Western Australia and South Australia, the highway passes close to the limestone cliffs that line the Great Australian Bight. Winter is the time of year to go whale spotting from the heights of these cliffs, and more than 90 southern right whales had been spotted so far. The Nullarbor Roadhouse marks the end of the Nullarbor Plain if you're heading east. Next, it's a 470 kilometre run across the top of the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia, from Ceduna to Port Augusta. Dane is now running across the rich grain country of the Eyre Peninsula and it was in the Gawler Ranges where the Sturt Desert Pea was first sighted. If you blink, you'll probably miss the towns of Kyankutta and Kungawa, but the Big Galara Kimber marks the halfway point between the east and west coasts of Australia. A pleasing stop for Dane at Port Germain. Just look at those straight lines of the 1 kilometre long jetty. The team now has Adelaide in its sights as Dane runs through the beautiful wine region of Clare, only 139 kilometres from Adelaide.
See you, brother.
See you later, Paul.
Bye, Dane.
Run
See you,
safe.
Matt.
We'll see you up the road.
See you up the road.
Getting Dane safely through the city of Adelaide requires a lot of planning in advance. Dane receives a police escort through the city of Adelaide and on to Adelaide Oval. Adelaide Oval is prepared to welcome Dane after running more than 2,500 kilometres.
A remarkable Australian has run into Adelaide, reaching a milestone on his epic run across the country. Dane Waites jogged through the northern suburbs to Adelaide Oval, raising money for mental health awareness and autism, a condition he overcomes with a mountain of willpower and some added inspiration.
I just run like Forrest Gump, that he never stops running, and that's my hero.
Dane left Perth in June and is due back in his hometown on the New South Wales coast late next month. And you can donate via his Perth to Pambula website.
The Painted Silos at Canalpin, an initiative to boost the local economy, features 5 primary school students and represents the future of the town. Dane was lucky enough to meet one of them.
Made it.
You made it.
Oh, I made it, Paul.
Beauty. Well done.
Yes.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Fantastic, mate. Well done.
That was a big run.
Huge.
Ooh, that was a big one.
You got a bit of a puff going this time.
Dano, you made it.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done. What a champ.
Dane has already run across Western Australia, South Australia, and now enters Victoria.
Wow, Dane.
By the time Dane reaches Pambula, he will have worn out 9 pairs of shoes. Australians seem to love their big thing icons. The giant koala at Dadswell Bridge is the gateway to the Grampians. After a while, the decision was made to remove Dane's raincoat as the physical exertion of running 50 kilometres in the rain made him wetter on the inside. Dane is now running through more populated areas of Victoria, and he really enjoys studying the map each night so that he's familiar with the route he has to take the following day. He calls this enjoyable activity mapping. At King Lake, a town devastated by bushfires in 2009, the whole primary school comes outside to cheer for Dane. In front of the students, Dane is presented with a large wombat mascot and has his photo taken for posterity. This day was particularly challenging for Dane as he runs up an enormous hill, which he later referred to as Heartbreak Hill. At times, accommodation for the team was not always readily available. This is when a call out through Facebook would bring results, and the team would receive wonderful local hospitality in unexpected places. Dane is now only 300 kilometres from home. So while Dane is on the home stretch, preparations are underway for his welcome home ceremony at the Pambula Surf Lifesaving Club. The local bus company has organised free bus travel to the venue, and you can make a bid for a seat on one of the trucks to welcome Dane home. The organisers are kept busy erecting an outdoor stage for the live music and the guest speakers, making sure that sausage sizzles, raffles, banners, trucks and motorbikes for the motorcade are all in place to make this welcome home an event to remember. But first, Dane drops into Eden Public School to thank the students for their very generous donation of $1,100. After a quick photo opportunity, Dane heads off for his last run home to Pambula.
That's why I tell you, you better be home soon.
Here's the great man himself. 1 kilometre to go, Dane. Absolutely amazing. So we're just getting close in now, half a kilometre to go. It's great to have got
Thank you everybody who worked so hard to make this achievement happen.
Alongside Dane is that somebody living with mental health and autism does not put up excuses or roadblocks. He had a dream and he achieved it. He worked hard to fundraise, to train physically and mentally for the run. The run was for his dad and for raising funds and for raising awareness to show others living with mental health conditions or autism that you too can have a great life. Well done and welcome home. I would like to welcome up on stage the man of the moment himself, Dane and Junie, to say a few small words.
Thank you, Mum, for your support. You have done everything to get me there to Perth, to Pambula, and I just like to say thank you for the committee for getting behind me with Perth to Pambula and my support group, and I just like to say thank you for sharing my dream, and God bless you all for being here.
Look at you all. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You really have got behind him, but so has the country of Australia. And to the committee, you've no idea the work that went on behind the scenes. Thank you for that. And to his wonderful support team. I'm not sure how many of them are here today, but they have been totally amazing. I don't normally single out because each and every support person is special, but one support person stayed for the entire journey, and for that I do thank you, Peter. Actually, so did Dewey. Dewey stayed for the entire journey.
Okay, my favourite part of the whole of the journey across Australia was the Nullarbor Highway. Why I loved the Nullarbor? Because it was a 90 miles straight long highway and it had straight lines and I never stopped running. I just kept going like Forrest Gump.
Thank you, Dane and Ginny. I've now got the pleasure of introducing one of Rod's friends. So Dave, would you mind coming up to present? Thank you.
It should be Rod presenting this. I'm just the courier. Rod had a dream along with Dane years ago, and Dane, he'd have been proud of you, very proud of you.
Thank you, Dane.
How we're all proud of you. Well,
Thank you, Dave. Look at that.
Journey, you don't escape either. You played Rod and Journey on this. Congratulations, you did fantastic.
One thing that I think we'd all want to say is not only welcome home to the best place on the planet, but I think we also must recognise as part of Dane's dream is that he wants to see everybody with disability treated in the same way we all want to be, and that is respected, loved, and given every opportunity. And one of the great things about Dane's run is that it's not only inspired people with disabilities right across the country, but also it's inspired all of us to be better human beings. So well done and congratulations, Dane. A special award from the Premier of New South Wales as well, Dane.
Thank you.
You can, and dreams do come true. So please believe in yourselves like Dane did.
Dane's amazing effort and determination inspired hope to the families he met each day whose lives were affected by autism and mental health.